Having just discussed Ceuta, it is now time to hear from Melilla. I'm certain that there will be a lot of useful information and being shared during the next panel discussion, which panelist I'm inviting to the stage right now. Please welcome to the stage Jesús Martínez, who's the General Director of Technological Innovation at the Melilla government, Albert Rivera, who's co-director at RV Plus Estrategia, and Patricia Lalanda, partner at LOYRA Abogados, who will moderate the discussion. Thank you very much, and welcome to the panel. There we go. Welcome.
Thank you, Gaming Spain, for having us here today. Thank you, Ecija, for hosting this event. And thank you for those authorities who are still here with us, as I believe it's going to be quite interesting for you. The other panelists have already been introduced, so we can get straight to it. Since it's almost lunchtime, and I'm sure you're all exhausted, having heard a lot about legalities and taxation, we don't want to repeat anything, and I certainly don't want to cause any brain damage. So I'm going to begin with a little story. It's the story of Melilla, starting in 2023.
Oops.
Okay, no reason to get nervous. It's not going to be too long. It all started in 2023 when Melilla government changed to Partido Popular, and it faced a 26.3 of unemployment. This meant that a complete 360-degree change had to be taken. The Melilla government decided to bet on this industry within the rest of technological industries. They faced a very complicated industry because they were absolutely new. The way they went about it is, first, we have to learn what is gambling. We have to learn, why do people gamble? What is the history of gambling? Not only in Spain, but also worldwide. What are the main items in history that have affected not only the online, which is today's focus, but also the land-based? Many of the online operators have a very, very long history in the land-based industry. Therefore, all those items need to be taken into account. Not only the extensive gambling regulations, they learned that there were a lot, they had to take into account, but also all those regulations that affect the gambling industry. We've heard by Xavi saying, what about the AI regulation? Very relevant nowadays for the gambling industry. They learned the very relevant part that there are some externalities to this activity, but there are also a lot of moral and ethical considerations that have great impact in this industry. And they've also learned that the industry has suffered a lot of demonization. And they understand all those externalities, but they have bet on the fact that they have to work with the industry in order to prevent them. So Melilla's legal regime is quite complicated because it doesn't have, as equal to Ceuta, it doesn't have complete competences over what they can regulate on. But it's not about what they can regulate on. We have the DGOJ for that. It's what they can do with the competences they do have. Without all of this information that I've spoken about, it wouldn't be very responsible to take any informed decision. So after that long story, after these 2 very, very difficult years of learning and working with the industry, they have nailed down various specific strategies. And we have here Jesús to tell us what is actually going on right now in Melilla.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for the opportunity to be here in the Game in Spain. It's a pleasure to share this panel with Patricia and Albert. The main focus of the Melilla government today is to meet the demand of the online gaming sector, a fast-growing, highly technological industry that requires specialist digital skills. Like many regions, we are committed to training local talent, retaining it, and attracting professionals from elsewhere. A major step forward is the launch of the bachelor's degree in data science and artificial intelligence at the University of Melilla. With 700 applications for just 70 places, this program has already proven to be a success and reflects strong local interest in the digital economy. In parallel, we are actively collaboration with the institutions like the Escuela de Organización Industrial and INCIDE to offer training programs and digital marketing, business development, and new technologies. We also work closely with the Melilla Online Gaming Association, a key strategic partner in our development plan. One of the most successful joint initiatives with the association has been the language training for professionals already working in gaming operators. As someone just English could still use some help, I must admit. That kind of training would have come in very handy for me today. Another project I'm especially passionate about is our ongoing collaboration with the Ministry of Defense. We are working, still in the same phase, on the program to train troops and marines aged 35 and over who will be leaving the military in the coming years. Given that service members typically must exit the army force by the age of 45 unless promoted, this represents a delicate moment in their life. We see a valuable opportunity to help them transition into the online gaming sector and industry hungry, disciplined, responsible, and capable professional. Their military experience and work ethic can be a real asset to companies in Melilla.
So continuing a little bit with the story, I have to say that we began advising under a public procurement agreement the city of Melilla. This is for me a very passionate project because it's not only very technically, legally challenging, but also it's part of making a Spain project and also a European project, because I believe that giving these territories, Melilla specifically, the possibility of their own population to have a secure economy and wealthiest future is one of the most satisfactory projects that I've worked in. Going in a little bit into ideology, I would like to ask Albert to think what is right now the vision and the mission of Melilla.
Well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with you, with all the sector, and also especially with my friends of Melilla. RV Plus, our consultancy agency, is a company that tries to collaborate with companies and also with institutions. We are in the mix. We are translators of public and private codes for our clients, and also in this case, we know a lot of the new era in Melilla with the government, with the project. So I'm here just to try to explain to you why Melilla is a good place to be, in the next year for gaming. I think they have a lot of reasons, but probably 3-4 to point out. The first one is stability, because I think in this world you agree that in this moment talk about stability is a very good point. Melilla now has an absolute majority in the government with all the polls I have. Before I was in politics, I was candidate to the president of the government of Spain. So I just wanted to point out not the figures today, not the reality today. They have absolute majority, but in the future probably they are stronger. So you have a government with a very good point, with a very good support in the population and also in the company. In this point, I want to destaque it because not all the territories can say that have absolute majority to rule, to decide about legislation, to help company, to have a project, to have a strategy. So this is very important for me, and also I think for the companies. Second point is about connectivity. I think it's one of for me, personally, I think it's one of the best points of Melilla in compare with other territories. Canarias, Ceuta have the same more or less tax systems like Melilla. Felipe explained before with the very good points that is the same like Melilla. But for me, it's very important the connectivity, because for your company, for your people, for your employees, for your clients, it's very important the connectivity. You have 4 flights every day from Madrid to Melilla, and 8 flights every day from Malaga to Melilla, and just quarter of, I think it's 15 minutes. So it's very important because Canarias is interesting, but Canarias you spend 3 hours to go to Canarias from Madrid. So if you have to decide where to be or the place to be in the next years, I think it's very interesting also have a good connectivity for your people. So for me it's important because you can go in the same day, in the same journey, and you can go to Melilla, you're going to work there, and to go back to Madrid. Another point, very interesting for me, is the location, obviously. To be between Mediterranean Sea, Atlantic Ocean, Spain, Europe, and also Africa, and to be, I think it's important to be in Africa for the next decades, because probably it's a region with a future. I don't know, perhaps not now. Asia is now probably the most important place to be, and also to understand for the next years the map of the world. But now, I think in 2-3 decades, Africa could be very interesting to be there. So if you arrive before, but you are in Europe, you have the rule of law, like in Europe, I think it's a good point also to be in the Strait of Gibraltar. And finally, in this first statement, but I want to talk about, obviously, that Melilla could be a game changer in the next years, because the government of Melilla is very close to the government of all the regions of Spain. The government now is a conservative, liberal conservative party, but in Spain we have 12 of our comunidades autónomas, the region of Spain. The governments now are from the liberal conservative party, Partido Popular. So for the future, if you have change in the national government, probably I don't know, the next year, or I don't know when, but I hope that with a good government. So I understand also Melilla is a partner of this new government for the future, probably. So you have a government in Melilla very close to the future government probably in Spain, and also partner of 12 of the 17 region of Spain, so of the majority of the territories of Spain. So this point, as a lobby, to talk with them, to help with them, I think is a partner for companies. I think government of Melilla is a partner for you, because they understand what do you need, and also they have the influences also with the rest of the country, and also with the rest of parliaments. You know that the legislation in Spain for gaming, it's obviously national, basically in the case of Melilla, but it's important to have a player like Melilla very close. And I think that if you arrive to Melilla, you are very close to the government, you have the support of the government, and this point for the companies today is very important, because if you don't have the support, or you are on the contrary side of some governments, you have a lot of problems with regulations, bureaucracy. So I think Melilla is a good partner for the companies. I'm in the side of the companies, not in politics. So for the reason, I think it's very important to find people that understand the companies, the business, and our rules, our codes. For the reason, I think Melilla is a good place, with a lot of reasons more than that, but I think these 4 points for me are very important for why to decide to go to Melilla.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for that review. And although you're not talking from a political point of view, we do know that gambling is a very much politicized industry, and therefore that is why I couldn't agree more with that. As a matter of fact, many clients, when they decide to come into Spain, one of their due diligence questions is, how is the political scenario currently? How can there be any changes in the near future? Then that helps a lot to take all of these decisions. So Jesus, going back to you, I think it is only fair to let you speak about how many operators are currently in the city, and how has that all evolved, and what other things you're doing.
As I mentioned at the outset, this has been a exciting and rewarding journey. And that is already delivering tangible results for the city of Melilla. We currently have 15 operators established in our city, and several more in advanced stages of relocation here. Together, they generate over 400 direct jobs, and their contribution to our local GDP is truly significant. But our strategy goes beyond simply attracting companies. From the government of the autonomous city of Melilla, we view this as a deeply technological sector. That is why, unlike elsewhere, it is not handled through taxation or treasury, but rather through the direction of technical innovation. This decision reflects a carefully designed approach to the long-term growth, And we are fully aware that this is a complex ecosystem, one that demands responsibility, transparency, and strong public-private cooperation. That is why, and as a public administration, we are committed not only to the economic growth, but also to promoting values such as responsibility, integrity, and regularity alignment. We have successfully hosted 2 editions to the EFS project in Melilla, a national initiative focused on education, awareness, and sustainability in the gaming sector. In addition, we recently organized the PAX workshops alongside the DGJ, National Police, and other competent authorities, events that have fostered dialogue around critical issues such as identity verification, fraud prevention, and player protection. Our purpose is clear: to build a sector that is not only dynamic and competitive, but also responsible, inclusive, and resilient. We are investing all our energy in this vision, and we will persevere with clarity, discipline, and ambition.
Thank you very much, Jesús. I really want to thank you again for the braveness that you as an administration are having with the industry. I think this is the type of administration that the industry deserves, and I'm very conscious that you're also traveling a lot, even abroad. You've been in Miami lately, and you've received the applauses from other regulators from other parts of the world. So therefore, I think this is key, and I think that this is certainly the way to go. I don't know if, Albert, I know that everybody's in a rush. If you want to add anything further, please go ahead.
Well, I want to say in this sector, a very important sector for Spain, thank you for trust in Spain, also the people who are deciding this destination, this location. And also I want to say it's not just about Melilla, it's about Spain, but Melilla is one of our players in this game. I think in Spain we have a lot of bureaucracy in Europe in general. We have too much regulation. I trust in free market. I am liberal, so you can understand why I think about a lot of things that you know in your sector. But we have to fight against the bureaucracy, to fight against this excess of regulation. But we need people like Jesús and other in politics that understand us. It's very important to talk public and private sector together. And I try to find the people who understand our codes, our necessities, our interests. So this is my point. I understand that why I'm here, because I know that government of Melilla is one of our people that understand are business friendly, and not all the governments could say the same. So for this reason, I recommend not just Melilla, of course Melilla, Spain, but you have to find the correct people that understand you, because we have a lot of problems in industry, in regulation, in taxes. So in all of these difficulties, find someone who understands you and who help you and support you is very important for the company. So they are one of them.
Thank you, Albert. Are there any questions from anybody?
From the room, if there's any, please raise your hand. If not, I'm sure the participants will be able to chat with you during the lunch break.
Absolutely.
Albert, Jesús, Patricia, thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure.
And see you again during the lunch break. Thank you very much.